Amare Stoudemire, the inspiring story of one of basketball's breakout season, page 28. After a successful freshman season that yielded a Rookie of the Year award for him, the sky was the limit for Amare Stoudemire as he continued to become a better player in the NBA. One more year of experience in chemistry with his Phoenix Suns team should have been enough to catapult Stat into a rising star in the league, especially after having a taste of what it was like to compete in the playoffs in his rookie season. Amare would start his second year in the league with a loss to the San Antonio Spurs on October 28, 2003. He struggled to contain Duncan in the game as he was limited to 22 minutes due to foul trouble. Stoudemire finished that game with a measly stat line of 10 points and 7 rebounds. He would immediately bounce back by providing 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks in his second game, which was a win against the Cleveland Cavaliers and their prep-to-pro rookie phenomenon, LeBron James. It would take until November 10th for Amare Stoudemire to log in his first double-double of the season after consecutive games of mediocre performances. In that win versus the Golden State Warriors, he had 15 points and 18 rebounds. 5 days later, in a loss to the Detroit Pistons, he had 17 points and 14 rebounds. The relatively slow start for Amare and the Suns would see improvements in the next game as the rising big man put up 21 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in a win over the Chicago Bulls on November 18th. The Suns would win 3 straight games, punctuated by Stoudemire's 24 points and 8 rebounds on November 22nd in a win against the Miami Heat. While the Phoenix Suns continued to battle mediocrity and inconsistency throughout the early parts of the season, the rising star was struggling with the same kind of problems at that point. But things only began to worsen when Amare Stoudemire sprained his left ankle on December 5th in a game against the Boston Celtics. He was forced to leave the game after logging only 17 minutes in that win. Because of that left ankle sprain, Amare Stoudemire was forced to sit back and watch his Phoenix Suns suffer loss after loss while he was trying to recuperate from the injury. It would take more than a month for him to get back on the court. He missed a total of 18 games from December 6th up to January 9th, 2004. When he finally got back on the court, in only 19 minutes of action off the bench in that return game, he had 10 points and a loss to the Sacramento Kings. A lot of things had happened since going down with an injury earlier in December 2003. The Phoenix Suns seemed lost and perplexed without their best inside presence. The result was disastrous for the Suns every single night, to the point that the team's executives had to pull the plug on the present roster. Then the Phoenix Suns rebuilding process centered around Amare Stoudemire started on January 5, 2004, when they traded away guards Stephon Marbury and Penny Hardaway for a package of role players and first-round draft picks. With Marbury, who was the team's leading scorer at that point, gone, the offense was expected to revolve around Stoudemire. In just his second game back, Stoudemire would have 28 points and 8 rebounds in a loss to the Denver Nuggets, as it seemed like it was slowly getting back to form. Just 2 days later, he would record 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 steals in a win in Portland. Following that game, he had 21 points against the Warriors and then 16 against the Trailblazers, again to give the Suns a 3-game winning streak. Misfortune was quick to strike his hand again, just when Amare Stoudemire was beginning to find his groove as the Phoenix Suns' go-to guy on the defensive end. He would sprain the same left ankle in that win against the Blazers and had to miss out on more games after that. He would sit out a total of 9 games until February 4th, when he came back seemingly healthier than ever. Stoudemire, in his return game on February 4th, had 21 points in a loss to the Portland Trailblazers. After that, he was desperately shadowed by the Seattle Supersonics when he shot 3 out of 15 from the floor in another loss. But in the following game, Amare made Phoenix Suns history. In what was to come a loss to the Utah Jazz on February 7th, Stoudemire blocked a then-team record of 6 shots in the first quarter alone and finished the game with a career-best 10 blocks along with 20 points he scored. Had he grabbed 4 more rebounds, he would have had his first career triple-double. The sad part at that point of the season for Stoudemire and the Suns was that the team continued to lose. Even breakout performances from their new franchise player could not help their cause. On February 11th, in a loss to the Warriors, he would go for a then-season high of 33 points on 11 out of 20 shooting from the field. That was the day after he had 23 points on the Toronto Raptors. On February 13th, during the All-Star Weekend, Amare Stoudemire was selected to play for the sophomore team in the Rising Stars Challenge. He would dominate a game to set a new record for the most points scored by a player in that event. Stoudemire scored a then-event best 36 points on 17 out of 23 shooting together, with 11 rebounds to beat the star-studded 2003 rookie class. Such a record would stand for 5 years until Kevin Durant broke it in 2009. After the short midseason break, the Suns' struggle continued while their star only continued to rise. Stoudemire would have 29 points on 10 out of 20 shooting from the field in a loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves on February 7th. 5 days later, he had his first double-double game since January 15. In that loss to the Lakers, he had 25 points and